Okay, go.
Welcome to Practical Shooting After Dark. My name's Ben. We're here to talk about, well, practical shooting. It is after dark. That's when the kids get the fuck out of the pool. It's just the adults. You guys can use salty language on here. You can talk about BOCs. You can say all the F words. That's all fine by me. You know. Anyway, you guys know the rules. You bring topics to talk about when you come on here. And then we maybe go to some listener emails and questions. Very exciting. Anyway, joining me today, Mr. Park and Mr. Kim.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Oh, fantastic to see you guys here. So, Joel, before I
Yes.
started recording, you were talking about how you wanted Kim to talk about stuff, and you're like trying to elicit him to say interesting things without me recording. That's not
Yes.
acceptable. That's against the rules. So, why
All
don't
right.
you go again with what you were talking about?
I was just curious how you guys are going to approach. Well, Kim will be shooting 9 days of nationals. You'll be shooting 6. So that's like shooting. Well, our club matches are like 6 or 7 stages. So you're essentially like Kim will be shooting 9 club matches back to back, or a club match 9 days in a row, which
So
is
if I
a
shoot
lot.
club match here, it'll be nice 60 degrees out there, no humidity. Florida will be different for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a lot. Like physically, mentally,
Mhm.
you have to switch calibers. You might be switching between major and minor scoring.
Yeah. Iron sight to red dot.
Yes. You need to hydrate up, my man, because I've seen you dehydrated several times now.
Yeah. I'm gonna start going to sauna, local sauna. No,
So-
I'm lying.
Okay. Yeah, that's
So how do you think about dealing with that, or what do you have?
Yes. So I started going to the gym and do some cardio to survive the running and standing, all that. My legs, so that my legs are lasting for 9 days. That's the main thing I changed. It's not like heavy lifting I'm doing right now, but more of a lightweight but high intensity, and also some cardio related. That's the biggest change. And I tried doing all 3 different guns dry fire in one day, and I didn't like it that much because when I shoot limited, I need to get a race holster. So I kind of decided that I'm gonna be focusing the carry optic and production heavier than limited. Yeah, that's one of them. And another thing I'm gonna be doing is that I'm gonna bring a lot of food. Make sure I have 9 days long protein and carb source.
Well,
Yes.
we'll have stores there too, I suspect. But yes.
Yes.
I don't like for me to be honest, physically I don't think it'll be a big deal.
Really? Okay.
Because
Yeah.
it's 6 stages.
I'll be honest with you, Joel. Like mentally, emotionally, for some people, yeah. I mean, I don't care that much about the limited match, and I care a little more about the production match. But you know,
And that works out better for you, yeah, because the one you really care about is first.
well, the
But-
one I care more about. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really super motivated this year. This is kind of like an off year for me. I spent most of the last year traveling and teaching and having fun. So like, I'm not really super geared up for nationals at this point. I'm gonna go have fun, but I'm not too worried about the results. So like physically, it shouldn't be a big deal, and you know, I go shoot for fun. That'll be okay. Next year, things get more serious because we have the Europeans next year, assuming I can get a slot. So that'd be cool.
Yes.
Yes,
I'll be there too.
Nice. Yeah, that just seemed like a lot to balance. And then
I think
like juggling power
this-
factors also. Like major and minor. So
I don't think that's that hard.
Yeah. Me neither. It wasn't an issue really.
okay.
I mean, like to be honest, like now, like where's my last? We're recording this. Okay, so I just did. Well, you'll see this, and I haven't dumped the. All right, I'll back up. So I just went to Sacramento. I saw Kim there for a while. He was there on other business, and we got to hang out for a day. Anyway, So in 4 days of teaching there, I did half day production, half day limited every day. And so the video dump that goes up tonight in the training group or tomorrow morning in the training group that you'll see, it's like 50% production gun, 50% limited gun. And I'd take one gun off at lunch and put the other gun on. And it was fine. You probably wouldn't even tell if one of the guns wasn't blue.
Okay.
That's, I mean, honestly, it's not really that big of a deal at this point. So,
Cool.
I mean, that's good for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I've just been like I just change guns all the time. So it's like, yeah, okay. Now, I'm not like super on point with either gun right now, but I'm okay with both. I'm okay. Well, you've seen me shoot. Like, I'm okay with
I've seen better than okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Look like you're ready to crush nuts to me, my man.
That could be.
Yes.
All right. So, shall we get into the topics
Yes.
we have? I want to go first.
Mm-hmm.
And what got me thinking about this is how much sort of what I look at shooters, both in person and now that Kim and I are doing the digital coaching thing. I mean, we glean so much information about what somebody's thinking, where they're aiming, what they're doing, just by watching someone's gun when they shoot. So much. Joel, good example, like your transitions, you completely reworked them this year.
Yeah.
The target transitions. And all
Yes.
of that, and now that you know what you're looking for as far as how your gun should move from one spot to another, you see it immediately in other people, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So like it always strikes me as a little fascinating where it's like sometimes, I mean, even watching guys shoot like an activator sequence where it's popper over here, they transition to the left for a target, they transition back to the right for a swinger or something. You can tell what they're thinking. Like you see the gun go halfway over to this target as they see the target on the other side of them start to move out of the corner of their eye, and there's that hesitation. And you can be like, yeah, that dude was like, doesn't think he has enough time, and he's like, now he's like trying to rush. Or you could tell so much about what somebody's thinking and what they're doing just by watching the way their gun moves really, really closely. And I find that fascinating. I don't really have any place to go with that. It's just
No, I thought it
something
was
I've been ruminating on lately.
I thought it was interesting. On both of you have had like a match analysis of stages I've shot, and both of you had picked out stuff that like I had not shared with you what was going through my mind in a specific instant, or like one Ben you did where I'd missed a popper and you could tell I was kind of like irritated afterwards and I tensed up a bit afterwards. Like you could tell stuff that I was not verbally telling you, and you were able to pick it out.
Yeah.
Or Kim, when I was like on an activator sequence that wasn't where I thought it was going to be, and it was like most people look at the video and probably wouldn't have got it. I'm like, I'm not going to volunteer that. Like it lucked out. I got 2 alphas on the swinger, but that was not the sequence I'd planned. And Kim watched the video. I was like, yeah, it looks like you were going to go here. You changed your mind. It worked out. I'm like, I wasn't going to volunteer that. So it was pretty impressive to me how much you're able to pick out just from what you get on a video.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's something I find very interesting. So that's what I got.
I like it.
Yeah. Mr. Kim, what do you got, man?
Yes.
Another show and
So
tell?
we talked about 9 days nationals, and I talked about eating. I love eating. So I want to show you a good food that you can bring to your local matches or major matches. So two nutritions I really focus about is carbs and protein. Of course, everything else too, but the two good protein source I have right here is a biltong beef jerky from Beef Jerky Outlet. So this is a really flaky beef jerky where if I go to gas station, they have like a big chunk. So if I eat a big chunk, I have like my gum swelling, so I cannot finish the beef jerky pack because I have really bad teeth condition.
Well, share it with me, man.
So this beef jerky, yes, I'll share. I bought a couple packages. The price is not bad. It's not too far off from the gas station beef jerky anyways. But also it's got low sodium, low sugar, and nothing that will spike your blood sugar or anything like that. And another thing is Ben recommended me when I visited him. It's the One bar, the One protein bar from Walmart.
What flavor is that? What do you got there?
This is a strawberry and cream.
Oh, dude, that Is that one good? I haven't had that one.
Yes, that one's so good. I love strawberry. It's
Okay.
got good protein, relatively, I think, 1 gram sugar, so very low sugar. I love these too. And then since last year, what I've been doing for lunch, if I shoot a long match, I've been eating turkey breast, natural turkey breast at Walmart or any grocery store. So I keep eating beef jerky and protein bars throughout the day, but at lunchtime, I want to eat something bigger than that. Then I eat turkey breast, and it's been working really great. So those three things I always bring to a match.
Well, I like those things.
Mhm.
Like all those things.
I like
They're
this.
excellent. All right, and the proper eating strategy at a match is a little bit throughout the day. Yeah.
Yes, that's very cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what people need. A little bit throughout
Yeah.
the day. Don't do the barbecue lunch. Don't be an idiot.
Yeah.
You should never be hungry, but never be too full. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, you need to maintain the level.
Yeah. Like a lot of times, just noshing on something kind of gives you something to do if you're nervous or whatever. So that's not like a bad thing.
Yeah,
Not that anybody here would be nervous.
never.
That would be silly.
Stop my teeth from chattering. Here, I'll work on this beef jerky, right?
Exactly so. Exactly. Okay, Mr. Joel, what you got?
So this week in shooting, I've located shooting swingers has been a weakness in my shooting. There was a match I went to recently, an area match, and all but one, I had I think it was like eight deltas, and all but one of them were on swingers. And I'm not gonna lie,
Where
there
was
was a
this?
couple of them.
Area 4?
Yeah, they had some fast ones, and Kim was there, and
Mhm.
Well, yeah, I was
Sure.
I'm thinking, I'm going to hold my comments. I was
Yeah.
thinking of that. I saw a lot of match footage. I saw a lot of swingers, but they didn't look that. I don't remember seeing a bunch of tough looking ones, but maybe
No,
there were.
they were all close up, but some with some speed.
Ah,
So
okay.
all close up. Yeah.
And there was a couple of them that I was just I'm not gonna lie, I was just happy if I hung like Charlie Delta, and I'm like, well, at least I didn't get a mic on it, you know. And like that is not a winning like thought process to have. But
Not
there
usually.
were a couple of them, and after I get done, unload, show, clear, hammer down, I'm like, I walk straight to that target. Like, I'm pretty sure they're there. I think they're there. I get there, it's like a sigh of relief. It's like, oh, Charlie Delta, at least it's there. Phew. So that's a weakness, and that needs to get addressed. So I don't have access to the props at my club. My friend Nick, luckily, he was going to go train, and so I'm like, hey, I'm going to go with you. And so we ended up setting up just a small little drill that had a
You don't
swinger
have
in it.
access to the props?
No. So we
Sad.
set up this. We set up this small drill with a swinger in it, and then we both had shot it a couple times, and then because the swinger was what I wanted to work on, and we both were like, I was getting like 2 Charlies on it. Like, well, this is okay, but I want to get better at this. Like, all right, screw the rest of this crap. We're just gonna work on the swinger. Ignore the rest of this garbage. So we had it was like one where you prop up, and we used one of those. It's like a rod with a round circle, like a plate in that. If I'm making sense, you shoot that, it falls out, and then the swinger falls, and it activates, goes back and forth. So we
Yeah.
set this swinger to fall with just this piece of steel, and the drill. What we ended up doing was you draw, you shoot that, and then you basically shot pairs, and not necessarily in the sense of the doubles drill, but pairs of shots. So each time that swinger activated, shot it twice. Goes away, track it. When it comes back out, shoot it twice. And it slowed down a little bit, but I'd shoot like maybe 8 or 10 shots, like call those, where do I think those went, and then go down and look at it, and then take turns, he'd shoot it, and vice versa. We'd go back and forth. And by the end of that, it was like isolating a skill. By the end of that, I got where I could just, I was railing on that thing. It was awesome. And it was maybe 15 yards or so. So nothing super close. So that was very helpful. So, when I struggle with anything in shooting, I try to isolate that. And so that was something that was very beneficial for me to isolate just working on swingers. So
All right.
tracking it the whole time.
Here's the question. So was the problem with the swingers timing it, like as in when you engage it, the actual engagement, which is aiming at it and shooting at it, or was it like a nerves/panic thing? or an intimidation thing? You're shooting at the swinger, or what was the actual problem in your estimation?
I think the problem is not always aiming at the right spot. Like probably aiming at the swinger, aiming at the target as opposed to aiming at the A zone.
Mm-hmm.
Like just aiming at the whole target. So aim small, miss small, right? Like I need to be shooting for the alpha.
Yep.
And then I think stopping the gun, not tracking it the whole time. So I'd get to the point, I'd find the A box, I'd hold the gun there still, and then like, bam, there's the pair. And then maybe it's starting to move off, so maybe I end up with Charlie Delta as it's moving away. I think is the best way I can tell. I think that was what was going on. So by now when that thing comes out, I track it the whole way across. It goes back across the no shoot. I'm still tracking it as it goes back. You know, I'm moving my gun as the target's moving, and I'm trying to pay attention to that. Be more sensitive to what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Good. One thing I found when I was training swinger last year a lot, I shot thousands of rounds, and then I figured out that it depends on your vision focus. Where is your focus on your target? The target may seem blurry and fast. So if you are driving, and if you look at like far away, and if there's a car passing right in front of you, but if you see the car in your peripheral and not focused, then the car may seem faster than actually you look focused on the car passing by. So in your mind, the information processing is faster when you actually look at the car. So it looks like as if it's slowing down, and like you can actually put the gun, if you are looking A zone, like you said, instead of the whole target, then you may be able to see the with more information. So it looks like it's slowing down or something like that. And you can actually aim at it.
Yeah, I could tell I was towards the end of it more conscious of how the sight was lifting also, or paying more attention, seeing where the sight was when it lifted also. So obviously that gave me more feedback that I could have more confidence for what I shot, as opposed to being just like a sigh of relief that I had two hits somewhere on the target.
Yeah, my key was like really looking at the A zone rather than the brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, like shooting it in the center and focusing on the swinger, and your gun will just track it naturally. Yeah, I like that stuff.
Oh, the other thing, being conscious of where the A zone is going to be. So if I watch like in a walkthrough and they activate it, like, okay, the A zone is going to be here. So after I activate this, I'm going to move the gun up slightly into the right. Like that's the portion where the A zone is going to be. That was another thing that I try to do more.
Yeah. Well, good. Well done, man.
I'm trying.
All right. Shall we move on to a listener email?
Yes.
This one is regarding the open squatting situation, which we discussed on a prior show. And some people feel that is a pretty favorable situation for cheating. So I'm gonna read this. It's fairly it's fairly incendiary, so it should be fun. I deleted any of the specific identifying information from this guy. I'm not even sure what part of the country he lives in, but it is open squatting related, he says. All right. Well, I've personally seen a guy shoot under walls, not use the safe table when switching guns, and therefore flag in the waiting squad repeatedly with both the PCC and pistol, pretend the timer malfunctioned with one of his crew had a bad stage, ignore mics and no shoots, and reshoot stages for invalid reasons. I've seen others change their scores on the score pad and say things while scoring like, give him 2 alphas, or it's almost 2 alphas, reshoot for bad draws, unloaded magazines, equipment malfunctions. 80% of the time that's PCC apparently. Ignore or not see blatant safety violations that should be a DQ. I've seen guys get DQ'd and then just keep shooting. I've seen a guy step out of bounds and shoot targets and RO and score and not say a word. A lot of it is from guys who really do know better and have no integrity and are just trying to get away with what they can. And those guys are beyond hope. There's also a lot of dummies who need to hear from someone they respect that rules are still rules, even at level 1 matches, and they aren't doing anyone any favors overlooking safety issues, and that cheating is cheating. So that's the email. What do you think about that, Joel?
Wow.
Is that controversial enough?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how controversial this would be, like, or if anybody would refute this. I don't think so.
Well, yeah, I guess it would kind of go back to my points I made kind of before we talked about this type of subject, that either the leadership or management at that club, if they're aware they have a problem, they need to address it. And if they choose not to, then I just wouldn't go there. Like, that's that. Like, there's
Yeah.
no point in going because your score doesn't really matter at that point, right?
Yeah, it would be like here's your sign to not come back. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Real talk.
to the people that go to that match and they really want to get better, or they genuinely have like a conscience, I guess, and they want to play the game the right way. They're being done a disservice because when they go to a bigger match, then they are not going to realize they get mulligans for getting a bad draw, or that they do have a chronograph to measure your power factor for your gun, or your safeties have to work, or like you get penalties for stepping out of bounds, or you have to contact the MD if you want to switch guns. So then if there are people at that match that really care, they are very large disservice to those people, and that's very unfortunate because then they will learn the hard way when they like pay money to go to an area match or travel across the U.S. to go to nationals, and they're trying to like safety area in their trunk or something like that. So yeah.
That's real
Sorry.
talk.
Sorry, I didn't go too crazy, but
Nah, you never go crazy. That's why
I try not. I try not to. It's not me.
Hey, Kim,
Kim's
this
gonna
is
go
all
crazy,
news
though.
to you, right?
It is new.
Yeah, you don't even know what we're talking about. So, have you ever been to a match that has open squatting?
Never.
What do you think about that as a concept?
Oh. They should just not advertise as a sanctioned match. They should advertise as a practice match because they do whatever they want to do, right?
Boom.
Fantastic. You didn't even hear the podcast hasn't aired yet. You don't even know, and you kind of still know.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
The only thing I've ever went to that was kind of open squatting is GSSF, and that's fine. And there are officials that are on each bay, and yeah, it's open squatting, but there's like a very sense of the rules, and their officials are on the squad. It is not self-RO'd, and yeah, you can come and go as you please, but whatever time you decide to show up or walk to the bay, the rules are upheld, and there is integrity in the scoring. So open squatting could work in that situation. But without dedicated ROs and the honor system, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on. Mr. Park, Mr. Kim, appreciate it very much.
Thank you for having me.
Listeners, if you have an email you want read, make it something spicy, make it something exciting. Send that shit in. So we'll have some fun with it. BenStegger.com, send me your questions or your comments or emails, whatever. And if they're spicy enough, we can read them. Amazing.